Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just tell you, Joe.
Any objective view of that 90 minutes on stage was that the chaotic nature of what is nominally called a debate was almost entirely due to one of the three men on stage, and that was President Trump.
I just want to make sure.
Joe, you're the
I want to make sure.
graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
Clearly, President Trump has spent the campaign trying to frame Biden as weak, as old, too old for the presidency, a little addled, rattled, confused. Were there moments where you could say, wow, he really knocked Biden off his game and Biden was a little rattled? Yes.
By the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the same man.
That was said sarcastically, and you know that. That was said sarcastically.
And so here's the deal.
For Biden, he spent the time, his campaign, framing Trump as temperamentally unfit for the presidency, as not really interested in the details of governing, and as failing on big things, the biggest of which being the coronavirus pandemic, because of those shortcomings.
This is not about my family or his family. It's about your family, the American people. He doesn't, that's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need, you, the American people. It's about you.
Biden's strongest moments were when he just turned away from Trump completely, even turned away from moderator Chris Wallace, and looked directly at the camera.
I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair election, I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that.
President Trump, again said that he just wants a full and fair count, but he never did say explicitly, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, just a plain yes.
Urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully.
Because Wallace said explicitly, not just will you accept it, but will you urge calm from your supporters? He said, I'm going to tell my supporters to go to polling places and watch closely. That can be interpreted a lot of different ways.
Listen, right,
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
That's sort of this Trumpian thing that he does, right? Where he gives himself a little bit of plausible deniability. If we all say, and this is already in some headlines of, Trump refuses to condemn white supremacists, and his people are going to come back and say that's not what he said at all. He told them to stand down, or he told them to stand by, and it's just enough wiggle room, but he didn't explicitly condemn them.
Much more in ours.
All right, we're not. Mr. President, you're going to.
America.
Mr. President.